Anthony Davis has been one of the best players in the league since he came out of the University of Kentucky, and the New Orleans Pelicans drafted him with the first overall pick in 2012. Davis won the NBA championship with the Lakers in 2020, has made the All-NBA team and the All-Defense First team, is a regular All-Star, and has represented the United States internationally. You have to admit, it is an impressive career, but the feeling is that Davis still has not realized his full potential for one reason, and one reason only: injuries. Fortunately for him, none of those injuries have been career-threatening, but there have been so many that Davis never played more than 75 games in a single season, and probably never will. If he wasn't such a talent and contributor on both ends of the floor, NBA teams would probably already lose patience with him. So, in this video, we will try to look at all the injuries Davis went through during his NBA career and give you a precise timeline of everything that happened. Davis made his NBA debut in 2012, scoring 21 points for the Pelicans, who were still Hornets at the time, in the 99-95 loss to the San Antonio Spurs. Well, the injury problem started in the very next game. New Orleans won that one indeed, 88-86, against the Utah Jazz, but the win was overshadowed by Davis's injury. He was inadvertently elbowed in the head by fellow rookie teammate Austin Rivers and left the game in the first half. The team said after the game that Davis had a mild concussion and he missed the next 2 games. Shortly after his return to action, Davis injured his ankle and missed 11 games. Spraining his left shoulder in a collision with Brook Lopez was the next injury he suffered, which forced him to miss 2 games. He also sat out the final 3 games of the season after spraining his left MCL and finished his rookie year playing 64 games. Davis definitely felt the difference between college basketball and being a pro, and somehow survived the rookie season. Things didn't start well for him in his sophomore year. After just over a month, Davis broke his hand in Madison Square Garden against the Knicks. He tried to catch a lob, got fouled, and hit his hand off the rim, which caused him to miss 7 games. After returning to action, Davis was playing consistently well before missing the last 5 games of the season with back spasms. He finished the year playing 67 games, making his first All-Star appearance, and leading the league in block shots. During the following 2014-15 season, Davis had 4 injuries, but none of them forced him to miss more than 5 games. Sprained toe, shoulder, ankle, and a bruised hip came into his medical record that season, in which he played a total of 68 games, and was named to the All-NBA First Team and an All-Defense Second Team. The following season started well for Davis, as he signed a 5-year, $145 million contract extension with the Pelicans. However, just a couple months into it, Davis suffered a lower back bruise just minutes into the game against the Indiana Pacers. Davis was hurt diving into the stands to stop a ball from going out of bounds on the defensive end and missed the next 3 games. Davis was playing great when healthy, but being a target of the opponent's defenses, night in and night out, took its toll, and he was shut down with 14 games left to play in the season, as he had knee and shoulder issues. Davis underwent knee surgery in the off-season, and he also dealt with a torn labrum in his left shoulder. He showed up ready for the following season and played 75 games, which are the most he ever did in a single season, something he repeated in the following one. The 7 games he missed were part of the time management process after the surgery and some minor injuries. In the 2017-18 season, he injured his groin and was actually taken off the court in a wheelchair. Those 2 seasons were the most productive during his time in New Orleans. He averaged over 28 points and 11 rebounds in both seasons, and was among the top vote-getters in the run for the MVP award, finishing 9th in 2017 and 3rd a year later behind James Harden and LeBron James. In the 2018-19 season, which ended up being his last in New Orleans, Davis missed 26 games with multiple injuries, starting with a right elbow, then he strained his hip again and finished with back spasms, broken finger, and also a bruised rib. The following offseason was the turning point in Davis's career. He was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers and paired up with LeBron James. That was the short-end season with the COVID pandemic, and Davis missed 10 of the 72 games with a contusion. He played excellent in the playoffs, helping the Lakers to win the championship in the bubble, averaging 25 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. Following the season, Davis signed a 5-year, $190 million contract to stay in LA. Unfortunately, that was the worst season for Davis when it comes to injuries. That was the one when all the talks about his softness started. Davis played in only 36 of 72 games in the 2020-21 season. It looked pretty serious, as this time, Davis suffered a calf and Achilles injury. He missed 30 consecutive games, which was his longest break since he joined the league. In the opening round of the playoffs, the Lakers were up 2-1 in the series against the Phoenix Suns when Davis suffered a strained left groin in Game 4. He was sidelined in Game 5 when the Suns took a 3-2 lead. He returned in Game 6 but played only 5 minutes after re-aggravating the injury, and the Lakers were eliminated. The following one was even more difficult for him. He missed a total of 42 games after suffering an MCL sprain in his left knee, and later he injured his right ankle. It was the first time since 2013 for Davis not to be selected for the All-Star game, ending the 8 consecutive appearances. The last season started good for Davis before he injured his right foot in a duel with Nikola Jokic. He was forced to miss 20 games before returning just in time to help the Lakers reach the playoffs. So this is a pretty long list for any athlete. Davis has been through a lot by the age of 30, and the real question is, how will he handle injuries later in his career, and will the Lakers decide to stick with him? The Lakers sacrificed many assets in terms of players and draft picks to land Davis in 2019, and it seems the time for him to take over the team from LeBron has finally come. James is 38, and it is inevitable that Davis needs to take over. Not everyone would agree with that, since there are many who believe that the Lakers overpaid Davis in 2019. No one can take that 2020 title from Davis, but this is his chance to build on it. When the Lakers acquired Davis, they envisioned a team he would eventually take over, allowing James to age into more of a supporting role. That hasn't happened yet. LeBron continued to defy even the most optimistic expectations, while a string of injuries forced David to spend considerable time off the floor. A defining stretch won't erase the memories of the past 2 seasons, but it will certainly help forget some of them. It is no secret that Davis and James are not as good buddies as they used to be when James pursued Davis to join him in LA. Regardless of that, the Lakers are in a situation to think of a couple years forward, and they want to know if they can count on Davis taking over the team when the 38-year-old LeBron decides to retire. Davis has proved that he is a worthy sidekick in Los Angeles, but struggled without James by his side. The two of them were stellar together, but Davis frequently missed time, and when James got hurt, Davis struggled to keep the Lakers afloat. In his first 3 seasons in Los Angeles, Davis went 11-19 in games he played without James. He averaged 24.1 points and 9.3 rebounds per game in those outings, a fine output for most players, but hardly enough to lead a top-heavy Lakers roster missing James. The team knows that LeBron is not getting any younger, and Davis needs to step up. But the real question is, can he do it? Davis just turned 30, but it is safe to say that James is healthier than him despite being 8 years older. When healthy, there is no question Davis is a beast on both ends of the floor. So Davis will have to prove that he has grown into a tough one, ready to play when he is not 100% healthy. So is it a do or die moment for Davis? No, but if he wants to keep his status as the future leader of the Lakers, he better step up and step up now. The Lakers need AD at the best form of his 11-year career in the NBA. He needs to play like an MVP candidate he was not that long ago. The Lakers do not need the fragile, injury-prone version of Davis they have had over the past few seasons, but the player who powered the Lakers to a championship in the COVID-19 bubble. Not the one with back, wrist, feet, or growing injuries, but the dominating post player who can single-handedly change games on the defensive end. The good news for him is that he is still only 30, with hopefully plenty of basketball left in his tank.